You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, webcast number 496 for Monday, January 6, 2014. Tonight brought to you by MotoringBadges.com, Craven Speed, the new Mini, and OutMotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. That's OutMotoring.com. And a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and... Hey everybody, it's DB in Arizona bringing you a brand new episode of the world-famous White Roof Radio. Happy New Year, 2014. Thought we'd do it live tonight just because we really couldn't help ourselves. Joining me this evening, we've got my good friend Todd Pearson, MotoringBadges.com. Todd Pearson, he's here. Todd in the hizzy.
There I am.
Here he is. And, of course, our good friend Nathaniel Salzman from MotoringFile.com, ScooterFile.com, and BimmerFile.com. He's hanging out with us tonight as well. We're all recovering after a new year. Gentlemen, good evening.
Howdy, howdy.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't feel like anything to me because I didn't get any time off this week.
Right.
You know, everybody at least got New Year's Day off. I worked New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. My dealer was open both days, and luckily they were selling cars.
And what was it you said? If Daddy's got work, Daddy's working? What? What did you say? It's funny.
That's what I said 20 years ago when I started this. It's like, I don't care if Daddy's getting paid. Daddy's going to work, you know.
There you go.
So if there's money to be made, I'm out making it. I don't care if it's Sunday or New Year's Day. I am out doing it.
Outstanding. We did record the show live last week. For those of you who missed it, we had a really good episode of the Shuttlecast. So make sure you check back for that. I'm actually going to split it off and keep it separate for you guys, both in video and audio form. It's going to be a lot of fun. Trying something new. Why not? It just happens. We can't make a Shuttlecast because it wouldn't be the same because it just has to happen. And when it's happened, it's usually pretty cool. I think it is anyway.
All right.
But I'm a nerd. But we're not here talking about Shuttlecast stuff. We are here talking about Mini Cooper stuff for you. We've got news from MotoringFile.com. We got a lot of GP talk tonight. A lot of GP talk tonight. We're talking
just like put it on mute and just go away for a while.
Just so you guys know, we're talking GPs. If anybody's interested in GPs,
or if you're playing the GP drinking game, get ready to get hammered.
Yeah, you are going to be trashed by the end of this. You might want to
get
go
ready to be.
You're going to need backups.
You're going to be like you're going to be like Todd drunk by the end of this.
You're going to be Todd drunk and out of booze.
Only a few people have ever witnessed that.
Full levels of Todd drunk. I have. Vegas.
When
baby.
was that? When?
No, Nathaniel, I don't think you've ever seen Todd full tilt.
Oh.
Maybe.
Saw me like refund at least a couple of times.
At least a couple of times. And once was international.
Amsterdam, baby.
That's right. I had to pull over. Good times.
Hey, I made my flight though.
Well, fair enough. You did indeed.
Yeah, I didn't
Touché.
miss my flight, Mr. Burnside.
Yeah, there is that.
All right,
There was a sign made somewhere anyway. But we're not going to talk about old Mini Uniteds. We might talk about new Mini United, but we're going to talk a lot about the GP tonight. We're going to talk about events. There's a lot of events happening this year, 2014. And we're going to talk about some cool sponsor stuff, and we're going to get to all of that here in just a minute. Before we do, let's kick things off with a reminder about one of the fine sponsors here underneath the white roof. That, of course, is our friends over at Outmotoring, OutMotoring.com, the Mini Cooper parts superstore. We love these guys. We know you do too, and you should go over and check them out. If you have a Mini, you got a Mini for Christmas, maybe. Even if it's a little model Mini, you want some like cool stuff for it, over to OutMotoring.com. Car care products, you can make it nice and clean, put a nice fresh coat of wax. Plus, not only that, but all the good, cool interior, exterior, go fast bits for your big Mini. All of it available at OutMotoring.com. I don't care if you have a Paceman all the way back down to a 2002 R50. There's something for you at OutMotoring.com, including a lot of the original parts for your car, and sometimes a little bit cheaper than you can get them at the dealer. Just saying. And just to even make it a little bit better deal for you, you know, you're recovering from Christmas. You don't have a lot of money, but you want to get some cool stuff. Go over to OutMotoring.com, and for the rest of January, if you use the coupon code of SHARE, S-H-A-R-E, just like last month, SHARE, for the rest of January, you're going to save 5% on your order. So you go over to OutMotoring.com, add some things to your cart, coupon code of SHARE, save 5%. Courtesy us here at White Roof Radio. And, of course, our greatest pals in the whole wide, planet-wide world, OutMotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and free Mini stuff. That's OutMotoring.com. Yeah, free Mini stuff. Go check them out, please.
Should be like the Ron Burgundy commercial for Dodge. Everything's free. Come get your free Dodge.
That's right. Outmotoring's giving away free Dodges.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're really not. But let's not talk about that anymore. Let's go ahead and cruise on over to motoringfile.com. No. And this is where we start our GP talk.
Yeah, it turned into GP week on Motoring File this week.
Well, you know, it's really interesting that happened.
I have nothing to do with that.
I was texting with Todd last Sunday, and I went up with my local mechanic here, and 2 local GP2 owners took their Mini to a guy who's got a Mustang dyno. One of them recently did an M-tune and a K&N intake on his car, and some downpipes and other miscellaneous things, and he's got a giant intercooler on the front. And the other guy still was completely stock, and so they put him on the dyno to see what the difference would be and see how one would perform versus the other. It was very, very interesting. We're going to talk more about that later on. So it's weird that there's so much GP because it's just been GP everywhere in my life.
It's a sign, DB. The universe wants you to get a GP.
That the universe must want me to get a GP. It's the only thing I can think of.
I'll
You know,
tell
if
you
those
mine.
damn tires didn't cost $600 a piece, I'd think about it.
Oh, no, buy a 2006. Don't buy a new one.
No, I like the new ones. New ones
like
are
the
cool.
new
I
ones,
like
too.
them. I like them both.
I still say the old ones are faster.
I like the new ones. Anyway, so Gabe put up a really interesting piece, and I'm surprised it only has 29 comments, and that is why the new GP is Mini's first real JCW product.
Yeah, I think that it has few comments just because the complainers have it out of their system at this point, and I also think that Gabe, he wrote a pretty tight piece. I think that he makes a really good point here.
Yeah.
And that the bulk of most people's complaints has been about horsepower.
Right.
And he addresses that. And
I still hear that today.
Yeah, and basically the point that he makes is that, the horsepower numbers are low precisely because everything else about the car is so good.
Right.
That, there's only so much money to be spent, and because Mini wasn't going to invest in tuning up reliably a dead-end engine line in the Prince, knowing that this next generation of cars is right around the corner,
Right.
they instead spent their development dollars on suspension, on brakes, on aerodynamics. And then when you do all of the math, and this is something that Gabe didn't even really get into, then they basically gave the car away. That in terms of what you're getting for your money, it is cheaper than if you were to have built the car yourself, which is not usually the case.
Right.
You can't, some people have claimed inaccurately that, I could just take a regular JCW car and do the same thing and it would be cheaper. It wouldn't. It would be more expensive. Just like how if you wanted to put the limited slip differential in your R53 back in the day, it was cheaper to get it from the factory, economies of scale and all that.
Right.
But really the crux of it, and I totally agree with him in this respect, is that, in the GP, JCW for the first time built a truly performance-oriented package car and set it apart visually, whether you like how they did that or not. The fact that they did set it apart visually in such a big way, and we're seeing that again in the JCW concept that we'll see in the flesh in Detroit, but that we also featured on Motoring File, this next generation JCW concept.
Right.
A lot of graphics, a lot of emphasis, a lot of just
A lot of
being
red.
a lot more bold with it. Yeah, a lot of red.
Right.
So I think Gabe's onto something that JCW is going to be a much more serious sub-brand going forward.
And I don't say that a lot of red facetiously because you notice that Chili Red is gone from the entire lineup, with the exception of you can get a JCW package on a Countryman, and you can still get that now. It's
Right.
like a JCW appearance pack, if you will, and the car's Chili Red, and it's got a bunch of JCW bits on it. It's a good-looking Countryman, but that's the only
Countryman
way.
looks hot in chili red.
Yeah, that's the only way that comes, unless, I think you would have to order a Clubman JCW with the red roof. That's the only way to get some sort of Chili Red on a Mini. And I think they're going to reserve it. This is just speculation on our part, as we think they're going to reserve Chili Red for a JCW-only color.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. It's fine. I think it's a mistake. I think they should come out with something a little more different and unique. But it does scream classic Mini, isn't it? Yeah,
it's the Mini color.
Absolutely. It's been their flagship color for a long time, and so in one respect it's good for them to kind of step away from that and do something new and different, but to retain it and make it special within JCW, I think is a good move. You know, I still stand by, my long-standing opinion that non-metallic chili red that Mini has had available since 2001 is the best automotive red I've ever seen.
I would probably have to agree.
It's not too tomatoey. It's perfect.
I had an Austin Healey, a Mark IV, a '67 Mark IV Sprite, and that red was like a flat red, and that red was super nice.
I've got one that's almost as good, and I bet if you set them side by side, they'd be pretty darn close. My 1974 Cadillac.
Oh, dude, I know that red.
Red. It was a bright red. It was bold.
That was red.
And it had a white kind of vinyl top on it too. That was my first white top red car, and that was a gorgeous color on that car. Really was.
I think the Mini Chili Red and the Cadillac Red, that '70s era Cadillac.
I think they're pretty close.
I think they're pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, all I've got is old pictures to go from, but I look at it and I'm like, that looks like chili red and white to me. But
yeah, that's a brilliant.
Anyway, yeah, Gabe did a good job on that, and I think if you really read between, well, you don't have to read between the lines because he spelled it out pretty good there.
Yeah.
A lot of what you see on the new GP is a lot of what we can expect of taking JCW to the next level once again, and hopefully they'll do a little bit of horsepower because they've got more displacement to work with this time. 2 liters. Yeah,
a very unstressed 2-liter, and they've got an engine that is designed to do, like in its 1.5-liter 3-cylinder form, can reliably make more than 300 horsepower. So as a 2-liter, they should be able to do whatever they feel like is appropriate for the car. Now, will that mean we'll get a 300 horsepower JCW? No. Just quit holding your breath for that, people. It's not going to happen.
My personal prediction is somewhere between 220 and 230. I don't think there'll be any more. I don't think there'll be any more than that.
Brand.
Well, especially since we know now they're not going to bring all-wheel drive to the small stature minis. Your regular hardtops and coupes and whatnot. So there's no point in having any more power. Now, what they will be able to do is have really monstrous torque curves and great throttle response, and there'll be a lot of really interesting character in that motor, I'm sure, and probably even better gas mileage than it's pretty much guaranteed to be better gas mileage than it's getting now.
Yeah,
I don't know. Of those of us who've driven a Mini with 200 plus horsepower, that's a lot of horsepower in the car. I mean, we've all driven. It
really is coming out of the front wheels. That's a lot of power.
We've all driven Minis with more than 200 horsepower. The JCB, the Roadster, company Roadster line, it's a 208, just like the new GP is in the U.S. And I think it's quite powerful. My question is, if they do go to 220 or 230 even, is effectively laying that down. And it's going to take something like the tires that are on the new GP as part of a JCW package.
Right, or it's going to depend on how they bring that power to bear in terms of the engine programming and things like that. I mean, one of the things that Chad has brought up in the past, and I can definitely attest to this, having a 15% pulley on my R53, that generation of Mini had a lot more top end than the current generation of Mini does, including the JCWs, whereas they are much more like torquey down low. They're much more immediate, in how they make power. This next generation JCW might be able to give us both of those things in a way that the current generation of car can't. That low end grunt and the overboost and all the rest of that, but then also have a good head on the motor. Or on the power rev, on the rev range, on the power band. I'm gonna keep talking until my sentence makes sense.
Power range, rev, band.
It's all in the alignment of your Johnson rod and how much blinker fluid you've got.
Yeah, don't overfill your crank, dude.
You got to check the alignment on the rotary girder.
Since 2006, the Mini has a blinker fluid light, and it is on, the stock there, right? When that goes off, you're out of blinker fluid.
Right.
Have you experienced that? He doesn't have one on his car. They started it in 2005.
I have experienced that. The wiper fluid warning light.
Hey, speaking of wiper fluid, I'll segue and we'll go into a new story today. It was the high in Kansas City was 12 today, right? And my GP is garaged every night, but my garage isn't heated. It runs about 20.
How do you live, dude? Honestly, how do you live?
It runs about 20 to 25 degrees above outside temperature. That's what my garage does.
Okay.
So this morning, it was about 35, maybe 37 degrees in the garage. So I pull out and I start driving up to the dealer, doing some work, and of course it snowed yesterday, a couple of inches, and it's all wet on the streets and it's spitting up on my windshield. So I go to run the wipers to get it off, and I go to run a little bit of washer jets, and I get nothing. Just nothing. Nothing dribbles out of there. They completely froze up from the garage on the way there. And I noticed somebody on the local club board posted something about that in their car. They're like, well, today my washers wouldn't work. And I'm like, well, clearly you probably don't have the cold weather package because it has the heated washer jets. However, that doesn't always help because it heats it as it's coming out the jets.
Yeah, what if it's frozen in the tank?
I talked to the dealer about it. They've actually seen cars come in when it's really cold for a long time with the whole reservoir frozen, like into ice.
Wow.
And you really need to use the wintertime washer fluid instead of just the, blue stuff, or people who mix half water with their blue stuff.
Can't you just put a couple drops of like Prestone in there or something?
Well, it has antifreeze. Like if you buy the wintertime washer fluid, it's got some antifreeze in there to keep it from doing it. The pink stuff instead of blue.
It has some sort of antifreeze agent. I don't know that it's actually like ethylene glycol like you would have in your radiator, but it has something in it that gives it a lower freezing temperature. And yeah, Todd, you're absolutely right. It's especially critical for the vehicles that don't have the heated jets, but it's just as critical for even when you have the heated jets, if for no other reason than sure, it might come out a little bit warmer.
But when it hits the frozen windshield, it's going to freeze.
Exactly. And that will obscure your vision lickety-split if that happens. So you need the stuff that'll stay wet when it's really cold.
Yeah.
See, me, I just take a bottle of Stoli and a bottle of Windex, and I just mix them together. Right?
That's a waste of good vodka, man.
Give it a good shake.
Get some McCormick next time. Get a squeezy bottle of vodka, man.
That's what I'll do. I'll do that next time.
Get into something.
I'll get some Fleischmann's.
Get one of the bottom shelf bottles that bounces, when you drop it.
Yes.
I had a friend.
And some Target blue juice. That's all I need.
Yes.
Go ahead, Nathaniel.
He had a train going by. He muted.
I had a buddy who gave me two bottles of booze as a Christmas present. One was a bottle of legal Missouri moonshine, and the other was a bottle of legal Missouri moonshine that had been barrel aged into rum. And it was the middle of winter in Minnesota, and we're walking into the house, and the rum bottle slipped and hit the concrete and broke. And in that place where that bottle went, no ice or snow would stick for the rest of winter.
And anywhere it leaked into the lawn, no grass would ever grow again. It was a nuclear wasteland.
And you were at some point planning to drink that.
That was the plan. Yeah. No, I have no idea if it was any good. The moonshine was spectacular.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I drank most of it while we were recording this show.
Ah, nice.
That's awesome. Well, and I got to tell you that whether you're in a 2006 GP, a new GP, or you've got the rear window delete, and you live in an environment like where I do, and it snows, and as soon as that snow starts to melt on the streets and spits up on the car, literally,
you don't have the rear windshield wiper.
You have this much. You have zero visibility out of the back of that car.
That's not cool.
So today, after I pulled over, I got out the spray and I washed down the back window so I could see out of it. And I got to do that periodically.
Can't you like Rain-X the back window, or?
It's still not going to help because
because it's like all the crap that you're kicking up on the back of the car, like ice and
grit. Yep, when you wipe it off,
and the grit,
sand, and just disgusting.
Yeah.
So anyway, not fun to. I love my GP, but it's not fun to drive in the wintertime because.
But you still do because that's what men do.
You might have to think about running some rear mud flaps on your winter duty.
Oh, dude, mud flaps.
Mud flaps on the GP. I can't. That just makes my butt
No,
itch.
mud flaps. Yosemite Sam on one side and the
naked
silhouette
lady.
of the naked lady on the other. Come on.
Like, yeah.
Come
on.
I can totally see mud flaps on a Countryman. Great, they go. But
No,
on
put them on the GP too.
It'll keep that back window a lot cleaner.
That's right.
Yeah, I bet it will, but-
Nathaniel speaks the truth.
Just put them on for the winter. Nobody will notice. They'll be kicked over with snow.
See, there you go.
and they just
Nathaniel?
hold on with those little screws around the.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Something that we were talking about pre-show that you guys caught if you were hanging out with us beforehand is the one of our new favorite things is the Drive TV
Yeah.
over on YouTube, the YouTube channel. These guys are doing some really cool stuff. They're the ones that did the Drakkar Mini walkthrough. It was like a 16-minute long video. It was really, really interesting. Well, it turns out that Matt Farah recently took a new JCW GP to the Silver State Classic, and they talked about that on one of the latest episodes of Drive TV. You should go check that out too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really a lot of great content there. You should be showing up for Chris Harris on Cars, if nothing else.
And Chris Harris on Cars, if you're not a big fan of Matt Farah.
And if
His hair freaks me out a little bit. It looks like I'm just waiting for it to jump off his head.
And if you've never seen Chris Harris on Cars, I highly recommend, just for mini fans, because we like cars that are a little different, search up the episode where he drives. It's not a comparison. He just drives them both. But he drives the Morgan three-wheeler, and he drives a Caterham, and they're both terrific. It's a terrific episode. They're both terrific weird cars, and I want to build
But that's like-
Caterham so bad.
That's like comparing apples to zucchini squash.
Well, it's not the full-blown
Or apples to candy bars.
performance Caterham. It's one of the mid-range
It
Caterhams.
doesn't matter. It's still like comparing. Okay, it's like comparing apples to Oreos. It's just like
Apples and Oreos are both great. Like I said, it's not really a comparison. He's not
Sure.
saying this is
Yeah.
better than that. It's here are two fantastic weekend cars that
Yeah.
are not normal and give you a wonderful, visceral driving experience. He has a lot of fun with them. Made me want both of them. So
I would rock a Caterham so hard. Oh, I love that car.
you know what? I would
Even the
love to do?
cheapest, lowest end one, no turbo, whatever. Yeah, I don't
Totally.
care. I would
Yeah.
rock that car because it only weighs like 700 pounds.
And for me, it would scratch a couple of itches. That it would be a super fun car, but you can get it as a kit, so you get to put it together, and that would just
That
I
would.
would love
That's
that.
that's right in your wheelhouse, man.
hell yeah,
He does like to build stuff.
that's true.
Yeah. Finally,
Hey, but before you do that, DB, I just thought of something, and if I don't say it, if I don't get it out, I'm going to forget it. A lot of people have been asking around the web, and I don't think an official statement has been made. We're going to break the news right here. as far as Is the new configurator going to come out for the F-56?
Never.
I
Never.
predict it's going to come out as soon as we get back from Detroit.
Which is going to be
About
the end of
about
next.
the 15th. At the
So
15th.
mid-month. That sounds about right.
Yep, about the 15th of January. You should be able to configure and
Mark
price.
it on your calendar, so you're going to lose a half a day at least. Tell your boss now.
Yeah. So we'll be at Detroit the 13th. So look for, and by the way, those of you listening and watching, look at our Twitter feed, the Instagram feed. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh yeah, there'll be booth babes with Todd pictures again
there
on
really
Instagram.
aren't any, dude. There aren't any booth babes at
At
in
Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
Well, there's a couple, but
They were out in force last year.
really,
Yeah,
man.
they were there.
Actually,
And-
it must have been cutbacks because there weren't any.
I always feel so bad for them because they're just standing there in heels and they're so bored. And
Yeah, they really
I just
are.
cannot imagine being professionally good looking. That just seems like it would be so soul destroying. I just
You know, Nathaniel. Now I don't like to talk about it, but yes, it is. It's a rough. It's really rough. And it's extraordinarily difficult task to perform on a daily basis, such as these ladies do.
I felt so bad for them. I wanted to bring them all a Gatorade and a sandwich and a share.
Well, I got to say the women at SEMA are, and I'm trying not to make an overgeneralization, but they are dumber than a bag of hammers.
Todd at whiteroofradio.com.
If you try and ask them a question about, and this is from experience,
Yeah,
the ones
yeah.
I've talked to, and you've seen me, I've talked to a bunch of them.
Oh yeah.
They really don't know crap about the cars.
No, they're
no,
there
that's
just to
not their
look pretty.
job.
That's not their job. Their job is to look pretty and to stand there while they have their photo taken with dorks.
it's that old Louis C.K. joke. It's what exactly is your job here? Men want to have sex with me?
Yes, that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, before I forget, I want to continue on with our GP thing so we can shut down the GPs for good.
Drink.
As I mentioned before, I was out doing the dyno run with the two GPs, right? So this is what's really interesting. This was ambient air temperature was less than 60 degrees here in Arizona, so we were roughly 800 feet above sea level, whatever it was there. Stock GP put down. Oh, I gotta find it. It's in a text message to Todd because, of course, I had to text him.
Told me it was 204, which is completely understandable because it's rated at 208.
Yeah, it was 204 on the dyno.
So
with
204 at the wheels.
204 at the wheels,
Yeah,
not
so it's
204 at the
probably-
crank. 204 at the wheels, which is probably
about-
what,
At about
10%?
12% drivetrain loss, so it's a little bit more than that. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. And the torque number was right there too, 205, 207. Now, this one guy, he put a really mild NM tune on it and a K&N intake. He also put on a giant intercooler, but again, 60 degrees, he wasn't moving, so that didn't come into play. That's primarily these cars are primarily were purchased to drive on the track every weekend, and that's what these guys do with them. So tuned, it came in at 225 horsepower
At the wheels.
at the wheels.
That's pretty
Right.
sweet.
Which is
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
224 with 207 foot-pounds of torque, again at the wheels. So
That's
and,
an amazing amount of torque.
and that's for a relatively low amount of money. I think that tune only cost him like $300,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
It's not too bad, and I've seen, and DB, when you were texting me that, I told you, and I'll tell everybody, I've seen numbers on original GPs, 2006, they've been around a long time, and a lot of people have put them on dynos, and I've seen in the 220 to 230 range, generally come up with a stock 2006 GP, the supercharged one, untuned.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
stock. Which
BMW is pretty infamous for being really conservative about their horsepower numbers, and especially the JCW tuned minis are no exception. That when they say 209 horsepower or 215 horsepower or whatever, basically you can expect that that's the minimum. It will
right.
have at least that.
That's
Right.
the starting point. It's like,
Yeah, we know we'll get you here.
Yeah.
You're probably
Anyway, I
up
thought it was super interesting. And these guys they're race
great.
car guys. They're driving these cars on the track. They're not taking them out to the car shows. They're not cruising them. They are driving them on the track, and they just wanted a little bit more horsepower, and they wanted to get it as reliably as possible. And I thought that was pretty good.
It's still it's great horsepower to weight ratio, and
Yeah.
the amount of horsepower that Mini Cooper, that JCW engine puts out per the displacement is greater than a Corvette Z06.
There you go.
Nice.
The amount of horsepower per displacement out of that, it's more powerful.
Well, not to mention the amount of torque too. 207 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, it's not going to change the direction on the Earth spins, but still, 207 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot,
Well, especially on a light little car with a really well tuned chassis.
right?
Yeah, you want to feel torque.
Big ass brakes.
You want to feel some torque. It's fun. I drive my sister's 6 Series. Holy crap! Talk about up from the line, man. The tube doesn't have good enough tires on it. She needs new tires, and that thing just will snap your neck.
Yeah. I
So,
remember
to the
when-
general public, just a quick note: if Todd's ever talking about how much torque your car has, and then mentions that you need tires, you might just want to point it right back at him, and go, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Gabe was reviewing for Beamer File. We had the just not even the M, but the regular 6 Series Grand Coupe. So the
Oh, that's a
the
beat.
4-door coupe.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean,
Grand Coupe.
it's even non-M. It was still making like 650 horsepower or something. It's
Oh, it's insanity, man.
Yeah.
But it's $105,000.
yes, that is. I
$100,000
believe
cars.
that's the most expensive car I've ever driven, and that would also make it the most expensive car I've ever gotten sideways.
Nice.
But
Well
yeah,
done.
the takeoff on that thing is insane. I mean, it's just like you say, neck snapping. It's just going to stick in your seat. You're not going anywhere. You're going wherever the car is going, and somebody's in charge. It might be you. It might be the car. Just hang on
It's a
and
good-looking
grin.
car. Yeah, it's a good-looking car, but I still say for $105,000, I'm not buying a 6 Series. I'm not going to buy a 6 Grand Coupe. No way in hell. There's so much else out there for $100,000.
For $100,000, yeah, I'd be looking at
A used R8. I'd be looking at 2008, 2009 R8.
I'd be looking at Porsches myself.
I know the numbers. I can't do it. It just, I'm yeah. I think Porsches to me, and I know a lot of people are enthusiasts. I'll probably offend people, Gabe included.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's a poser. I'm not a fan of them. I'm with Jeremy.
I'd look. I don't know if I'd buy. I'd look.
See, if I had $100,000, and I would be thinking Porsche also, but I would probably be going much more the like Magnus Walker route, and I would buy 3 or 4 interesting old Porsches.
Yeah.
Buy
I
a
don't
couple
want
of-
any of that. I don't want any of that air-cooled nonsense. That's ridiculous. I don't want a Volkswagen.
I'd have a couple air-cooled. I'd have a couple of
Those are
turbos.
Volkswagens. Don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, or a couple of used Maseratis.
Wow. There you go.
Maserati does not interest me in the slightest.
Really?
I do.
right,
Just
we're
close
gonna
your eyes and listen. Just close your eyes and listen. Oh my gosh, I want
Yeah,
that.
it makes a lovely noise, but so does an Aston Martin, my friend.
Aston Martin
yeah.
makes a lovely noise, as do Ferraris. I mean,
And
they all
they-
make nice noises.
I'm saying
They
for
make
the
a lovely
value.
car.
I'm saying for the value. I think the Maserati has like the biggest drop in value.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a Maserati because I'm not a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's that. Or Robert Apon.
Yeah.
He still has his. Anyway, that's it for the news. Really quick, I want to remind you guys, it'd be really cool if you guys can do this. You guys know we've been talking about the new F56 hardtop, right? The new Mini. The whole test drive thing, right? You guys sent in a whole bunch of pictures and videos that are over on the special website to try to win a chance to be one of the first of 10 people to test drive the F56 in the most really awesomest way that you possibly can. Now that you've already entered, right? Now it's time to vote. What I'd like for you guys to do is click back over to whiteroofradio.com, and I want you to click on the banner at the top of the page again and go and start scrolling through all of the entries and start picking a winner. There's probably going to be some way to game the system, I would imagine. Though your Facebook feed is going to be covered with posts of me begging for votes, or other people. But just go over, click through there, go check out all the entries. They're supposed to announce a winner like towards the end of the month. It's going to be very, very cool, and we hope somebody wins it. And remember, of the 10, one of them gets a chance to win the opportunity to create your own special edition Mini Cooper F56. Very cool stuff. Go check it out. And then all that's happening over at miniFTTD.com. Mini Final Test Drive, worst name ever.com. Go check it out.
Mini 1-800-Flowers FTD. Send a bouquet to a car.com.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just me. I know it's ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, go check it out. Click over to White Roof Radio. Click on the banner, please. That would be awesome. We would love that. Moving on. We have events coming up. Now, I know you guys follow us over on Facebook, and this was very interesting. We got this on Facebook, and we haven't been able to confirm or deny. So the rumor mill is churning hardcore. Ready for this? We are hearing... I'm not even going to say the guy's name because Todd will just giggle.
It's on the White Roof Radio page.
It's on the White Roof Radio webpage. It's Max Koklov. I'm
The
guessing.
world's best gay porn name.
Exactly. And I'm probably spelling that or pronouncing that wrong, Max. If that's the case, I apologize.
Max, we
Anyway,
apologize for the English joke for your name.
Yeah, sorry.
Was he reporting from the Goodwood Festival of Speed?
I don't know what that was.
There's a lot of rape shots going on.
So anyhow, according to him, he's been talking to his local dealer, and according to him, he's hearing that Mini United is on the BMW event calendar for 2014. Dates the end of May, beginning of June, happening in Germany.
Which
We've heard nothing more than this. This
Yeah.
is true rumor, speculation, and it sounds like it's going to end like a day before Mini Takes the State starts.
No,
No,
because Mini
not quite,
Takes
but a
us started
month?
into July.
But
End
still,
of July.
2 months.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We're wondering. We're curious. If anybody out there's heard, let us know. Be cool. Feedback@whiteroofradio.com. But we do know about. We know about Mini Takes the States. Let's
Yes.
revisit
Heck
that,
yeah.
shall we? Mini
Like-
Takes the States happening for sure. This is like happening. We're going to talk about this for just a second. And it is happening in this year. And I have to search for it because I don't have it ready.
Starts July 27th.
Yeah, it starts July 27th, and it's going to run for 27 days. And it's going to draw a big curly Q loop-de-loop queue on the United States. It's really not. It's going to be July 26th through August 10th, 2014. Starting in San Francisco, cruising across the United States, dipping down into Austin, Texas, before heading up to Chicago and then cutting across and ending once again in Boston, Ma. That should be a good time.
City. Do you you know who's never been on Mini Takes the States?
Hang on, don't tell me. My mom.
This guy.
No, you were there. You were there in 2012.
I showed up to the event in Chicago because I live here.
Yeah.
But
Well, that counts.
That
No,
counts.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I didn't go anywhere. It's a road trip, and I didn't road trip. I might as well have met you guys at a gas station.
It was like, well, it was like a half. What was it, 45 minutes out of town? That's kind of a road trip.
Well, I'd say technically, then Gabe has never been on Mini Takes the States either.
Yes, yeah, he has. He
No,
did
he
a whole
hasn't.
bunch of it in a convertible.
When
Like
did he-
two MTTS.
Oh yeah. That was in 2010, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Remember we came to Denver.
That's right. That's right.
I remember
started-
that because I got super cranky because I was super sick. at the
That's
end
when
of
we
that
started
trip.
from 3 different points. I started in New York, DB started in LA, and Gabe started in Chicago. And then we all
Right,
kind of.
Chad starting like Miami or something.
No, Chad caught up with Todd somewhere.
Yeah, Chad was with Gabe, and then we all met in Kansas, and then there's nothing left of Dodge City still to this day.
To this day.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
Mini
Well, there's no
Takes
more
States.
gin in it.
Mini Taste of States is an epic journey. We highly recommend doing as much of it as you possibly humanly can or afford or take time off from work for. The more, the merrier. It's to say it's a life-changing experience sounds really cheeseball and stupid, but you know what? It's a life-changing experience. And if you get the opportunity to drive across the United States in your Mini with all of your Mini pals, it's really a thing. It really is. It's amazing. And we're doing it again, 2014. I'm excited. That's just me. But I don't like eggs.
Sorry, I'm typing in the chat room.
Oh, boy. Todd's typing in chat. So that's really cool. Mini Takes the States. Also coming up. No, I was going to say something else about Mini Takes the States. What was it? Oh. Are you a White Roof Radio listener?
Well,
No.
yes, I am.
Yeah.
And are you planning on attending, even coming to an event for Mini Takes the States? Or possibly doing a leg or 3 or 4? Or all of it?
Maybe.
And are you willing to be part of the White Roof Radio Road Crew? We are looking basically for unpaid interns, volunteers, people to help us out during the giant road trip along the way. People to hold cameras for us, not like fetch coffee, maybe gin for Todd, but you don't need to do anything for me. I just need somebody that'll help take pictures, help post photographs to the Instagram feed, help take pictures and make sure that stuff's just getting done. And we're looking for volunteers. Very few volunteers, not very many. Just need a couple of people along the way. If that sounds like something that would be fun for you, hit us up, feedback@wirefradio.com. I'm going to come up with a cool application process, I'm sure. But we have a long way to go before that one. But that's something to kind of keep in mind if you want to be part of the White Roof Radio Road Crew. Be a lot of fun.
America
Hang out with
seems
cool
to
kids.
enjoy a good singing contest.
No, we're not doing that.
Maybe we'll have like America's Got Talent / voice aspect to Mini Takes the States this year. Is that
I
what you're saying?
mean,
No,
we've
you know
got-
what? I'm really. This is really if you know Instagram works. That's all I'm really looking for. And if
So
you can,
what-
and if you can hold the camera,
So
you
what
don't
you're
necessarily
saying?
have to know how this works. But if you can hold it and squeeze the trigger,
If you can do this,
or if you
So-
can do what Todd's doing, yeah.
So, DB, what you're saying is that in order to get this very highly coveted position as White Roof Radio roadside assistant, I think is what we're going to call it.
I like the roadside assistant. That's good.
that-
Winner.
that in order to earn really this illustrious position,
Yes.
that people are going to need to go to Instagram and they're going to have to record a 15-second Instagram
Yes.
video of themselves doing their
Yes.
favorite karaoke song.
Yes, that's exactly what we need to see. To see if you're. I'll just come out and say it to see if you're worthy.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
You got to earn it. I mean, Todd and I are pretty good pickers of the cool kids. Can I just say that? I think I just did. Todd and I, and actually all of us, we're really good pickers of the cool kids. And that's how we're going to pick you. Karaoke contest on Instagram. I love it.
You got to bring the cool.
Yeah. And tag it, I don't know. Tag me at Don Burnside or at White Roof Radio.
Yeah, it's hashtag WRR. No, What's our
Sing.
abbreviation?
WRR Sing. WRR Sing. No, just tag me. Just tag White Roof Radio at White Roof Radio, and if you do a karaoke video, just for no other reason, I'll think it's funny. And there's a good chance you're going to get picked anyway. If you're going to post a karaoke video to Instagram, you're in.
We want to see that shit.
Yeah, I want to see that on the road. We're going to take that show on the road.
Wow.
Just kidding. Well, no, not really, because we are going to take that show on the road. Anyway, but this, we're joking a little bit, but I'm really looking for people to help us out along the way during Maine Takes the State. So if that is something that appeals to you, let us know, any way, shape, or form possible. And if you want to put a karaoke video on Instagram, you should definitely do that as well. And make sure you tag all of us, actually, so nobody misses it. Because we're all on Instagram, except for Todd.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm involved in the chat room.
Todd got sucked into the chat room again. So what else is going on? We have White Roof Radio Wolfcast 500. That's coming up in February 22nd. We are. I've just shared. There's another event happening in Phoenix in March to kind of take the place of Anviv-ish. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. But there's. I'm trying to get some room rates down and things like that. What I'm looking for right now for Wolfcast 500 is if you're planning on coming to the show, it's also going to be Saturday. We're just going to do a live show. It's happening at Eurotex in Tempe, Arizona. If you're coming to the live show, make sure if you could do me a serious solid and actually RSVP for the event. It's over on the White Roof Radio Facebook page. I'll make sure to link that up and share it out again. Trying to get a solid number, so make sure we have enough chairs and tables, and to see if I have to get a haircut or not. Or wear pants.
And at BYOB.
Yeah, and if it's going to be BYOB, or if I'm going to have to, go buy a 12-pack of Diet Coke.
It's bring your own pants.
Yeah.
BYOP.
Yeah, got it.
I'm shipping my pants, man.
Whoa.
FedEx.
You're going to ship your pants?
I love that commercial, man. Kudos to Kmart for that.
Nicely done, Kmart. Todd's going to ship his pants. What else is going on? Oh yeah, Detroit Auto Show. That's like next week. The next time we gather, you guys will be hearing, and we're going to be a day late next week. Yeah, we'll be a day late next week because the lads are going to the Detroit Auto Show. So we're going to have a regular show, but it's going to be sprinkled with interviews and other cool things from the Detroit Auto Show. That's really exciting stuff.
We're
if you
taking
happen to be
full-
freezing your little toes off in Detroit, go by and see the boys.
That's right. We'll try to hook up with Chad a little bit. We don't know our complete itinerary yet, but we will definitely be in town for the press preview days on Monday and Tuesday, so run into us if you can.
There you go. Oh, I forgot to mention, during Wolfcast 500, that is one of the few opportunities you are going to get in 2014 to get Todd to put graphics on your car if he's not in Kansas City. So if you're looking for a reason to come to Phoenix, Todd's doing graphics, and you still have a couple spots open, right, dude?
Yes.
Like 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, and you better get it done there. I'm getting expensive, man. I'm raising my rates this year.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy's got to go to Vegas.
Daddy's got to go to Vegas.
I need stripes on my car, actually.
I kid. Again?
Yeah, they're. I don't know. I guess I didn't take very good care of them, so they're starting to oxidize.
My roof still looks really nice, by the way.
Well, the insurance paid for him this time, right? That's the nice thing.
Yeah. And actually, I need to get some rust and stuff fixed, so the warranty might take care of them this time. We'll see.
There you go.
Snap.
Nice. So that's it. There's a lot of events happening this year. We're all really excited about them. We hope to see a lot of you for Wolfcast 500. We think it's going to be a swell time, and we think you would enjoy it too. I mean, it's going to be like 72 degrees in Phoenix on the 22nd of February, and wherever you are, you're going to be hip deep in snow. So come here. It's better. Trust me.
I'm booking my flight now.
There you go. Done and done.
Yeah, I need to do that.
And I am, if anybody hears this within earshot, it's probably too late by the time you hear it. I will be also in Vegas last week of January, like the 25th, 26th.
25th, 26th.
I'm willing to do graphics while I'm out there if anybody needs it, just because I'm there and I have the time.
So there you go.
Yeah.
End of January, Todd's going to be in Vegas. This is a last-minute thing. If you need graphics done, Todd will
hopefully Agro will have his new clubby by then, because we've been talking about doing something fun to it. So
I think he shouldn't he be getting it soon?
Supposed to be in middle of January. So.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll have it. All right, good luck. I'll keep my fingers crossed on that.
Yes, sir.
So there, done and done. That's a lot of travel for my friend Todd there, early in the year.
It's my year of travel, man. It's the year I rack up the frequent flyer miles.
Frequent flyer miles. Like it. Like it a lot. So that's all that's going on in 2014. You guys, hope to see you there. We like hanging out with you guys as much as possible. We always think it's a good time, and we think that you do too. So come by and join us. Finally, to end the show, I want to remind you guys about one more of our fine sponsors here underneath the white roof, and that, of course, is our other bestest, closest, most personal, awesomest friends on the planet, worldwide, global planet, and that's CravenSpeed.com. I actually know somebody a couple weeks ago. I told you guys about the new gauge pack, right? The N gauge system, which is completely awesome. And Kellen gave us a killer deal. It's no good anymore. But I know at least one person took advantage of the $100 discount because he ordered before the end of the year. And if you're one of those people that took advantage of that, I want to see pictures of this when it goes on your car. One of them we're actually going to see during Wolfcast 500 because he's bringing his car to the show for Todd to put graphics on. And I'm really excited to see it. I want to see pictures from your car, too, if you were able to get the N-Gauge system. It's one of the fine pieces available from Craven Speed, of course. So some of our other favorites are the FlexPod. I swear by that thing. The R56, R50, R53 dipstick, another great piece. It's a dipstick you can read and doesn't break. Win. And
but it gets very hot. Don't pull it out of your engine and try and touch it.
That does get very hot.
That thing gets really hot.
All dipsticks get kind of hot, though, don't they? It's like
it's
a piece of metal.
When they're spring steel, they get really hot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But there's a nice piece. I really like it a lot.
It is.
And of course, if you're rocking the R53, Craven's got your pulley. So there you go. All you have to do, go over to cravenspeed.com. All of that stuff is available from the website. And for the rest of January, if you use the coupon code of SHARE, SHARE, you'll save 5% on anything that you order, including the N-Gauge kit. So cravenspeed.com, coupon code of SHARE, save 5% on your order, courtesy us here at While You're Afraid. And of course, our bestest pals on the whole wide internet, world wide web net thing, cravenspeed.com, home of the Electric Mini. I believe we're done, fellows. Did anybody else have anything else?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nathaniel, you have been the scooter file thing has been blowing up lately, and I really like what you did. It looks really nice.
Oh, you had a hand in it, sir. So thank you.
You did all the work, but it's just blowing up over there. You're just going crazy with the scooters.
Well, we've got a lot of consistent content coming in. We're posting reviews as we find them. We're looking at stuff and really trying to put together as many guides as we can. Like we've got a guide to cold weather riding. We've got a guide to winterizing your bike if you're not able to ride during the winter like we are here in the Midwest. So yeah, a lot of good information there. Go have a look.
Go check it out, scooterfile.com. It's really cool. You guys could. I know you guys like scooters. It's all really neat. So, and when are we going to see a scooters take the States?
Well, actually,
it sounds like something from like Dukes of Hazzard.
There isn't a well. Okay, so there is a scooters takes the States of sorts, and Scooterfile will be involved with that. There is a scooter cannonball run.
Is there really?
There is, and
awesome.
It happens. I don't recall if we had one last year. I think we did. This year, our senior editor Eric Almendral from Los Angeles, he is going to be making the run, and I think it's from like Alaska to New Orleans or something like that.
Good grief!
Yeah, he'll be running a mid '80s Honda Helix 250. So the spaceship Barcalounger on wheels.
Nice.
A bike that's designed to go long distances comfortably, and to hold a good cruising speed.
It's like the gold thing of scooters.
Back in the day, it was, yeah.
Well, and it's freeway legal with that big giant 250cc motor.
That's right. It's the same, literally the exact same drivetrain from my most recent scooter, the Elite 250, but it's the bike has been stretched and it's got kind of a recumbent seating position, so it's really comfortable. So Eric's going to be doing that run. I don't know the dates for that off the top of my head, but we have had some coverage for that.
Nice.
And then there are, just like in the mini community, there are regional get-togethers for scooter rallies and whatnot. Like we've got Slaughterhouse here in Chicago. They used to do Rattle My Bones in Minneapolis. I don't know if anybody's going to pick that up and run with it again. But the big one is AmeriVespa. That'll be in New Orleans this year. It was actually over in Wisconsin, real close to here, 2 years ago. Over at Lake Geneva. But yeah, the mini community and the scooter community really do have a lot in common. It's a vehicle that people expect you to drive an SUV. They don't expect you to drive a mini. People expect you to ride a Harley. They don't expect you to ride a Vespa. And so the people that do are just like many people. They're a little bit off. They have a little bit different expectations. But also it's a group of people that spans every income range, every demographic factor you can imagine. Men, women of all shapes, sizes, incomes, ethnicities, all the rest of that. It's a really cool community. And they love to get together and make party.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good time. I miss Oliver. I miss Oliver. Anyway, that's awesome. Scooterfile.com. Go check it out. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, sir. But that's all we have for tonight, gang. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm glad you're all sticking with us for another year of White River Radio. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. But we're done. This is the part of the show where I do like to make a funny clicking sound. And then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. But until next week, gang, this is DB. I'm done.
Cheers.
Good night.
Got gas in the front, electric in the back, or all right?
It's the green car mullet.
Party in the front, business in the back.
Something like that.
That's what
I did that. I loaded this up on my big screen television because I've got the YouTube app like 17 different ways now on my television, and I just go, well, let's just see what this looks like on the big TV, and it's weird watching myself on television. And it's not weird that I was able to watch myself on television. It was weird that other people can potentially watch me on their television.
Sure.
That's the weird part. Jesus.
Okay. Last week it was in the 60s here. You know what? A week ago.
That's weird. That's weird.
And then today I have 12, and I'm catching a cold.
And now you have the flu.
Yeah. And Monday it's going to be minus 20 in Chicago.
No, I'm not going to Chicago.
You know what? On Monday, just because I'm going to open all my doors and windows again.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah,
you know
that's
what that
something
means,
right
Todd. When it means it's going to be cold as balls in Detroit.
Oh, it always is. It always is, and I never bring a coat. You know what? I come to Detroit with like my sport jacket and 2 pairs of shoes.
No gloves, no coat, no hat,
Dude,
no protective outerwear whatsoever.
Froze my nards off waiting on the ride to the hotel last night.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to take a cab from the parking garage to the actual arena last year. Do that again this year.
Good.